Hello everybody and welcome to DC Central, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing Supergirl Season 4 Episode 17. We're getting pretty close to the end and this season is still continuing to ramp up, so let's dive into the review. So first off, I'd like to apologise for this review being incredibly poorly made from an editing standpoint. My laptop is refusing to take screenshots, and also my camera is having issues right now. So this is the best I can do, I'm afraid. It's just one photo on top of me talking, so I do apologise for that. I'm going to try and get it fixed as much as I can, but for now, like maybe for this week, this might be how videos are going to be done. So hopefully you guys can stick with me through this, and let's just get into the review of this week's episode of Supergirl. So this episode follows on from last week, where we had the big reveal of Eve Tessmacher working for Lex Luthor and being his spy throughout the past few years of Supergirl, and we do see this storyline continue. We have Kara, Lena and Alex investigating her. And I thought that this little team up of Kara, Lena and Alex was really cool. They go to this house to see this supposed relative of Eve's who actually was found out to have superpowers herself thanks to the Hyronel because of Eve, and you know, the same treatment that she gave to Lex, she gave to this relative, and or friend of a relative. This was all okay. I mean, I like this team up. Like I said, I like the team up of Kara, Lena and Alex, especially because I brought this up last week, but Kara has had like no character development at all ever since, you know, she's been on this show. So with that being said, to actually see this moment, like, there's a particular moment where Lena is just basically lashes out at Kara saying, "I'm so sick of you just not trusting me," because Kara does find out that Lena has the Hyronel in this episode, and the fact that Kara actually has to snap out of it and basically just say like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm very quick to jump to conclusions," and we actually get to see a bit of vulnerability. I'm not going to go as far as say it was a character development. It wasn't quite an arc, but it was something nonetheless. And Kelly Olsen also sticks around in this episode. We have James actually dealing with some pretty interesting stuff. I didn't expect them to go down this route given the fact that it's James, but they actually give him some PTSD. Like, he actually is suffering from traumatic stress disorder after being shot. Every time he kind of hears a loud noise, it kind of flashes him back, and there's a moment at the end of the episode when he's obviously caught in a large amount of gunfire, and it completely freaks him out. So I actually like this story, the fact that obviously Kelly's a psychologist, she knows her brother, she's like, "Come on James, we're both not stupid here, you're going through some stuff. You know, just take a break, just slow down, you know, you've been through quite a lot." And I like this storyline because it was actually something interesting for James to do. Like, James never gets anything to do. Obviously, this is something I bring up a lot in these Supergirl reviews, is that James, especially in Season 3 and this season, he's really had nothing to do. So it was really nice, actually, just to have him get this very personal story, something that's a very more, you know, just akin to him and his sister just having conversations. I really enjoyed that, and again, Kelly continues to impress me, so I'm happy that she's going to be a series regular in Season 5. Still not sure what extent of a role she's going to have in Season 5, but regardless, I like the actress and I like the performance and I like the character. The best storyline by far in this episode, though, was Jean and Marin. Jean is basically looking for advice, so he tries to use the staff to summon Marin, and we actually get Carl Lumley returning in this episode. I don't think this was known, like, I don't think this was actually announced that Carl Lumley was returning for this episode, but my god was it good to have him back. I missed him. He was one of the best parts of Season 3, honestly. I really loved his character, and seeing him back here, seeing Carl Lumley back, just seeing him interacting with Jean again was great, and I liked their arc that they went through, the fact that Jean had all the answers inside of him, he just needed the kick to get it out, and I really enjoyed their conversations. The fact that Marin was just being really annoying most of the episode, intentionally, I thought was really smart, and I like the fact that Jean was just kind of like, you know, "I summoned you here for help, you're not helping me at all." I thought that was really, really good. And also, I have to say, once again, I think I said this last week or the week before, but David Harewood was the MVP of this episode again. He's just, there's like two particular moments where he's talking to Marin where he just blew me away with his performance. Like, he's so good, and I don't think David Harewood gets enough recognition because he is truly fantastic in the role of J'onn J'onzz, and I just loved seeing him in this episode interacting with his father again, and again, just some of these scenes where he really got to show off some raw emotion was really powerful, and I really enjoyed all of that, and he even gets to say, "I am Martian Manhunter," and I thought that was really great. So now he's kind of accepting his role as the Martian Manhunter going forward, and that should be exciting if they stick to their guns. The sort of big negative for the episode, though, was the Ben Lockwood storyline. It just felt very tacked on, and it didn't really have much to do with the overall plot. I mean, the Alien Amnesty Act was redacted in this episode, which kind of causes this big thing, which I'll get to in a minute. But Ben was just kind of there to kind of show what's going on in the inside. He only really has like 3 scenes in the episode, and it kind of felt very tacked on. Like, it very felt like they just had it there because we haven't seen Ben in a while. And it kills me to say it, because obviously I've been very much an advocate of Ben Lockwood as a character. I've been saying he's the best part of the season, and I still think that. I still think that this character is great. Just this particular storyline, it just didn't really feel like it meshed very well with the story, and honestly, I think the biggest problem with this episode is there's too much going on. Like, there's 4 storylines in this episode, including this Ben Lockwood one. So there's a lot going on in this episode, and I feel like the Ben Lockwood storyline was the kind of, key sufferer of those big storylines. Now we have the ending scene where basically Eve manages to break Red Daughter into the White House, where the alien amnesty kind of, party, I guess you could call it, or gathering is going on. And she dresses up as Supergirl in her costume and attacks the White House. So obviously now the world thinks that Supergirl did it, and the president has officially made Supergirl public enemy #1. I remember seeing this in the promo, and I thought this was really cool. Maybe they shouldn't have put this in the promo, maybe they shouldn't have spoiled this, but because it is basically the ending scene. But I think it's really interesting because Supergirl and the Flash have never done this. Like, they've never done the, make the hero the villain thing, because obviously Arrow has done it loads, and it's kind of annoying because obviously Arrow is just like, Green Arrow, Oliver Queen, is just a guy. He's just a vigilante, so the cops feel like they can take him. But with the Flash and Supergirl, because they have superpowers, they never even try. Like, they just assume they're a hero. We've never done the whole, villain thing, or can we trust these heroes kind of thing. Obviously, the Flash kind of did it with Trial of the Flash, but it was more Trial of Barry Allen than it was Trial of the Flash, so they kind of messed up that storyline. But I actually like the fact that we're going down this route. I think what could have been a lot more interesting, though, is that if they actually had Alex having to work with the DEO to actually go against Kara, I think that would have been a lot more interesting. But she kind of just, at the end of the episode, shows up and say, no, we're on your side, we're going to help you get through this, and we're going to figure out the truth. I think it would have been a lot more interesting, especially mix that in with a memory erase storyline, to just say, like, yeah, she's working for the DEO, so she has to fight Kara. I think that would have been a lot more interesting, but, what are you going to do? It is what it is. So overall, pretty good episode of Supergirl once again. I really enjoyed this one. Again, I feel like there is a big problem with this episode, though, which is that there's just too much going on. There's too many storylines. Like, I think we easily could have cut the Ben Lockwood stuff. And, I mean, if you wanted to cut the James and Kelly stuff, I guess you could have done. But, like I said, I enjoyed that because it did actually give something. It did actually give something for James. But the Jean and Marin stuff was great. And, going into Eve Tessmacher and just actually trying to, track her down was quite a fun storyline. And I did enjoy the team-up of Kara, Lena, and Alex. I enjoyed all of that. And Brainy also got his Legion ring back. That was a nice moment. I enjoyed that too. So, there's a lot of good stuff in this episode. It was just a little bit overstuffed for my liking. So what did you guys think of this episode of Supergirl? Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and also stay tuned to the channel. I've got more videos coming up this week. Supergirl is also now on break, like the other shows, but Legends is back tonight, so you can expect my review of Legends of Tomorrow either today or Wednesday, depending on, what happens, but obviously stick around for that. Legends is back, and all the shows are on break for a couple of weeks, but we have got plenty more videos coming up, so make sure you stick around to the channel for all of those. So thank you guys for tuning into this episode of DC Central. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss any DC content, and I hope to see you guys again next time.